What's up, guys? It's Gary. Long time no see. So in this episode we are going to make a Howl pipe for the truck here. Now if you don't know what a Howl pipe is, I feel like I kind of made that term up, but I'll put in a couple of clips right here. And that is a thing that is very popular to do in Thailand. And really, there's not a lot of information on it, but I follow a lot of Thai people on TikTok and YouTube, and I was able to see kind of how they make them. So I have a piece of pipe. We got the downpipe off already. And actually, let me show you and just kind of discuss why I have the downpipe off. A whole entire job that I did, and I did not film anything because I kind of thought, well, I didn't think it was going to be a very interesting video. We had to pull the turbo on this and replace the O-rings between it and the block. Major oil leak. Well, I didn't film any of it. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. Initially, I was a little bit like, man, this sucks. But now that I've got the turbo back in place, I realize that, you know, in the future, if I have to do that, if I have to pull the turbo again, it's really not that hard. But it almost looks like it could come out through here, right? No, it didn't make it. It wouldn't make it out through here. So wouldn't really say it's a doghouse, but there's an access panel, and we were able to get the turbo out through here. So the way this turbo oil feed and return works is there's just a pedestal that meets the block. It's kind of hard to see down up in there, but you know, more or less the center section of the turbo has a mating surface that goes right to the block, and the oil feed and return just go right up into the turbo and back into the block. It was really leaking quite bad. There's two O-rings in there for the return and the feed, and so that was it. I mean, I pulled it apart and actually didn't look like anything was wrong. I really wasn't sure that was actually going to fix it, but I ran it a little, and it appears to be good now. And you can actually see how long I've been neglecting this thing. That oil leak happened months ago, and I just haven't even driven the thing. It's just been sitting here under the tree, becoming extremely dirty. So now that I have that exhaust off, I've always wanted to try and do this Howl pipe deal. I have a piece of exhaust pipe to, I think, make it work. Kind of just a try it and see what happens type of thing. I don't know if it's going to work or not. It might even be that on this particular engine it just doesn't work. I don't know. But we're going to try it. So here is the downpipe. It's 3.5 inch, and then it steps up to 4 inch. So I have here a piece of 3 inch that I actually just already had laying around. And the key is that it has this step for a 3 inch inside, 3 inch outside. The inside diameter of this is about 3 inch outside, and so basically this doesn't quite or almost exactly friction fits into here. So what we actually want to do is use the smaller portion, and it's just going to fit right in there, and the larger part we're going to tack weld to the inside, and you'll see exactly what I mean once we get to it. All right, well, kind of turned into a little bit of a mess because the amount that it was flared out actually wasn't quite enough. It was really loose in there, so I got it a little bit more. And I have seen these sometimes with a kind of an angle on them, and I've seen them where they're just straight. So I'm going to try it with the angle. And at first, well, okay, so basically it's going to fit in there kind of like that. And it has to go in to a certain point. I'm going to have to refine the edge here a little bit more, because the turbo, or I should say, the downpipe basically fits over a little flange on the turbo. So it's obviously a V-band, but the you can actually kind of see the line. So there's sort of a little protrusion on the actual turbo, and this fits over it. So I have to keep that in mind, that this has to be in there a certain distance, otherwise it'll never go on. But basically it's just going to kind of hang out in there like that. And supposedly the amount that you actually weld it can determine how loud it howls in the sound. I'm going to kind of keep it light. I'm going to just tack it in a few places. All right, I went ahead and used a Dremel and a stone on the Dremel. So we got that cleaned up nicely. And get our guy in there, tack it in place, get it back on the truck. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It actually welded really nicely. I just did 3 kind of focus for me. I did 3 kind of welds there, and now another thing I'm not too sure about is whether or not it's better or worse to have the gap. Now I'm thinking that might be better. It's kind of maybe more of an instrument, more of a whistle, instead of it just being the exhaust going through and it having that gap beyond. Some of the exhaust will pass through here, maybe, I don't know. You know, we're kind of looking for that howl, and I don't know if this is going to work or not. So, you know, worst comes to worst, we just have slightly worse exhaust flow and a piece of exhaust welded into our downpipe. It's not like I'm going to take it apart and remove it. And if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. You know, like I said, it was off already, so kind of was the opportunity to do it. So obviously I haven't really done anything on video besides talk and explain and then show you the result. Let me know if that's something that you prefer or don't prefer. Sometimes, you know, when I film, it's like, how many times do you need to see me cut a piece of metal? Like, the grinder fires up and sparks shoot off. It's kind of not that interesting, I don't think. How many times do you need to see the welder spark up, you know? Sometimes I will show certain things, and sometimes I just think it's kind of a waste of time. You guys might say, well, you're wasting time by just talking right now. Well, I don't know. I kind of like to talk. So, let me, again, like I said, I don't know how many times I've said it, let's get it back on the truck. Alright, well, here's to hoping there's no major exhaust leak right there. And even more so, here's to hoping it howls. I gotta admit, I don't have a lot of confidence that that actually is going to do anything. Let it warm up a little bit, at least, so I can not rev it cold, you know? I'll get back to you when it's got a little bit of heat in it. Well, it didn't make a damn bit of difference. That's disappointing. I guess I'm going to need an actual tie person to help me design that thing. Or maybe it's just that this engine can't produce that sound. Maybe because of that turbo. I don't know. Yeah. So maybe when it hits some boost going down the road, it'll do a little bit of something, but I don't know, it sounds exactly the same, so I don't really have any confidence in that. Alright, well, that's What's that? Damn throttle's sticking a little bit. I lubed up all the linkage, but there's a couple of spots where like a shaft goes through. You can only do so much by spraying WD-40 through that, or on the edges of that. And I don't exactly know where it's sticking. It doesn't feel like it's down here. So I'm gonna have to probably pull all the linkage apart, or at least by the time I find where the stick is. It's just if I just slightly touch the throttle at the very top, it's stiff, and then it'll stick. But if I actually just stab the throttle, it's not stuck. I don't know. One of those little annoying things. You let it sit for a while, and things start happening that were fine before. Alright. This thing hasn't been washed probably in almost a year. So that's where we're going now. And under free revving, there was no Howl from our Howl pipe, which I went back and I looked at some of the pictures and the videos that I could see of the Howl pipes that they make overseas, and I think maybe I made it a little bit too big. It should have been maybe slightly smaller, maybe slightly shorter. I'm not sure. Also, I guess if you weld it more, it'll be louder. I'm wondering if having that little gap around the edge is actually the problem, because the one I saw them making in the one video, it's like literally the only video on YouTube, it was really nicely fitting, and it had a nice cone to it. Mine has kind of a crappy cone to it. I don't know. But we tried. That's something I'm gonna have to fix like immediately. That is really annoying. Funny, I don't even remember what the gear pattern is. Give me a second. Not really getting it into boost yet to see if it howls at all, but I didn't want to lay into it too hard. There's somebody right behind me. Yeah, it's just riding smooth. It's been a long time since I drove this thing. It's like almost smoother than my Mercedes, but that's because my Mercedes has issues with the suspension. But yeah, this thing actually drives really nice. This throttle sticking situation though, not really feeling it. It's actually really annoying me right now already. Because the amount of throttle it takes to just go slow in this thing, go the speed limit, is like right there at the top, right where it sticks. So I'm just kind of lightly on the throttle, and then I'm going to let off. We're kind of still throttling, so not good. Drop it a gear and put it into some boost and see if it has any new noise in the turbo. Are you kidding me? It actually, dude, are you shitting me? Alright. Wait a minute. Oh god, I hope you can hear that. No freaking way. No freaking way. did I not hear it? I don't even know. I'm freaking like pumped right now, and I don't even know if I actually heard it. Like, I know I heard it, but I'm like, no, there's no way. Oh my god, hold on. There's a stop up here that we're gonna go again, so see what it sounds like. Oh my god, you might not even be able to hear it because it's really faint, but it made it worked. It freaking worked. It's like, I'm gonna have to set the camera up right by the exhaust or something, because it's almost like a 7.3 power stroke howl. It's like, or how can I even do it with my mouth? Oh yes. Yes! Dude, if I perfect it and make it a little bit different, it might be a little bit louder. Maybe if I weld it all the way around. It's like, instead of like the Suzu engines and the Hino engines, the inline 6s in Thailand, they're more like, but it might also just not do that, because it's gonna sound different because it's a V8. So the like super smooth kind of like might be because of that firing of the inline 6. This being a V8, it's going to have that, like the power strokes have that, or even like the Scanias, more of a bird sound, like. Yes! I have a feeling you can't even hear it, but it worked. It freaking worked. Smelling a little oil. Hopefully I don't have that leak again. I don't see why, but I'm gonna have to check it when we get there. I wish it was louder. I think I'm going to take it back apart and weld that all the way around. I think it'll be louder. The other thing is, this doesn't make a whole lot of boost, so it's not going to be that loud because of that, too. Alright, I think I just spent over $20 on a car wash. Man, it looks a hell of a lot better. That was tough. Alright, so I went over to my friend Simon's. You guys have seen him once or twice on the channel. And I didn't tell him what I did. I just told him, hey, you got to take a ride in this thing and listen to it. And the thing is, he's like the only friend that I have that knows about this, that knows the Thai trucks and how they sound and the Howl pipes. So, you know, I really wanted to have him go for the ride and see how he reacted to it. Probably.
No kidding, dude. How'd you get that out?
I made a Howl pipe.
No shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Put it down on another road and then step on it a little bit more. There's also the learning curve to how to make it sound really cool, because if you just like, first of all, it won't do it pre-revving. Like in Thailand, those trucks are like, no, I thought it didn't work. I thought that didn't do anything. Fucking went up the road and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And but anyway, kind of like the Mercedes, if if I like load it real hard but don't get all the way in boost and then let off,
Yep.
it makes a more prominent sound than if I like get full boost and let off.
Oh, okay.
It's got its own unique sound because it's a V8. It doesn't have it, it's not that loud. I think I can make it louder, by the way. I might pull it apart and weld it more because it's only like tack welded in place.
So it's that's it. Yeah.
I've gotten it to be louder than that. I'm trying to figure out get it to do its thing. I want to get it, like, I want to know what it sounds like on the outside. Maybe try to get a shot of the exhaust. Play into it a little bit more and see what it sounds like. It's just that sweet spot, like really hard load and let off really abruptly.
I mean, I'm sure if you reapply throttle, it'll kill it.
I noticed,
whistle, you know?
yeah, I noticed when it did it real good earlier, when I got back on throttle, I heard a noise that I also never heard before when it spooled back up. It was like the same noise.
Oh, cool.
But it's real faint, it's hard to hear.
Right. That was really good.
Dude, it's amazing. Now we need an exhaust amplifier and a whole bunch of extra exhaust pipes in the back, too, in Thailand. Then you could really, anybody outside will really go leave it there. Alright, I'm just going to lay into it and see what it sounds like. Yeah, it's lower RPM, but it doesn't do it as much in the top end.
Right. Yeah, now I want to hear it with it bumping up all over.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Dude, I can't believe it worked.
Yeah.
Just the fact, like, I revved it after I put it together, and I was like, damn it, it didn't work. And,
yeah, right.
And then I drove it, and the first time I actually hit that fucking sound, I was literally fucking...
You definitely can't do it while pre-revving?
I'll try it again right here. But maybe I wasn't... So I might be able to really aggressively try to slap the throttle to build up some boost. All I was doing, by the way, was just going one slap, like, whoop, and it would do nothing. So maybe if I, like, try really building some...
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Nope. A little bit. Nope. So it's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but we couldn't hear that in real life, and I can hear it as I'm editing the video. There was a slight representation of that sound. It was there. And when I also was looking at the other video when I free revved it at my house, that sound was occurring there too. I just can't hear it in person for whatever reason. But yeah, we either way, it's just simply not loud enough overall anyway, but I'm loving it. It's freaking awesome.
It's pretty unique sounding. It's not like I thought it would be.
Right.
More of that, I don't know what you call it. It's like a reverberation.
Yeah, it has the reverberation, I think, because it's a V8. So, like, all the Thai trucks are inline six, so they're real smooth
Oh,
sounding.
they're smooth. Yeah. That makes
the
a lot of
engine's
sense.
smooth.
Yeah.
And this is a choppy engine, though.
The impulse is from
Yeah.
the V8. Yeah.
It sounds like a bird.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, some throttles.
I'm impressed.
So we tried to get a shot from the outside, and as you're going to see here, unfortunately, you just simply can't hear it from the outside. Not that loud. I think also with the stacks, that makes it a little harder to hear, but definitely sport cowbell. Definitely coming out of the exhaust.
Yeah, I hear it in here.
At first, that first one, I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't coming out of the exhaust. And on the second one, I could hear it. Alright, well, that's going to pretty much do it for this one. I guess I'm getting a little rusty, guys, because I didn't make an outro for this video, so we're just going to call that the end of it right here. I'm definitely happy with that result. I was hoping it would be a lot louder, but the fact that it worked at all, I'm even though I know the thing exists, I mean, I made the thing based on knowledge that I had of it. I'm still very surprised it worked. It really, really makes me happy that it worked. So I think I'm going to go ahead and possibly pull that back off, pull the downpipe back off, and try to refine it a little bit, or at least, you know, not refine it, but just weld it in there a little bit more. Or maybe I will cut it out of there and make another one and make it better. I don't know. But, yeah, either way, that's going to do it. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, comment, and thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.